It all started with silence. Not the kind that comforts you, but the kind that hums too loud in the bones. Emily stood in the kitchen of her childhood home, grocery bag in one arm, lunchbox dangling from her other wrist. Her military ID tag clinked gently against her keyring. Her eyes scanned the room, her mother on the couch with a glass of wine, her brother glued to a video game, the faint echo of her kids' laughter upstairs. It had only been 6 months since her husband's funeral. She was 3 to dot, a widow, a mother, a provider, and, increasingly, the only adult in a house full of grown dependents. The loss of David, her husband, hadn't just left a gaping emotional wound. It shifted the tectonic plates of her life. David had been her anchor during deployments and moves, the man who whispered encouragement in her ear before every parenting milestone. The morning he deployed for the last time, he'd kissed her with that nervous smirk he always wore, as if promising to return but knowing the odds. His death in combat left Emily not just grieving a partner, but bracing for a life she never prepared to lead alone. The check. Emily remembered the moment the life insurance payment cleared into her account for $100,000. It felt surreal, dirty, even. Like blood money. The military gave her a flag and a handshake, then sent her home to figure it out. With 2 small children and a heart broken beyond words, she didn't know what to do except survive. Her Amazon cart was filled with things she didn't recognize. "It's your money now, Em. You might as well live a little." Her brother borrowed her card just for gas and then came back with a new PlayStation. Her mom began talking about remodeling the kitchen. Her hands trembled when she first saw the deposit. She imagined David watching her from above, urging her to use it wisely, to build something stable for the kids. She promised him silently that day she wouldn't waste it. Her bedroom door didn't stay closed. Her schedule no longer mattered. "David wouldn't want you moping," Susan once snapped. "He'd want you to move on." She returned to work barely 2 months after the funeral. Her former office job had held her spot, but the pressure to catch up was intense. She worked days at the desk, evenings at a local diner. By the time she came home, her legs ached and her heart throbbed. Her authority as a mother was being undermined by her own family. Taylor would ask Grandma for snacks before dinner, and Susan would hand them over with a wink. Jackson started mimicking Lance's sarcasm. Could she teach them courage and kindness, protect them from bitterness and betrayal? Emily couldn't help but ask him about his service. He spoke kindly but briefly, mentioning he'd lost friends overseas. She didn't cry in front of him, but in the back room by the dish bin, she collapsed. It was honest work. She liked being anonymous there, just a name tag and a smile, no pity or probing questions. Her mother never helped pack school lunches. Lance never drove the kids. They were just there, floating through her grief like freeloading ghosts, offering no comfort, only clutter. Emily's own voice seemed to matter less and less in her own home. Her mother was still an authorized user. So was Lance. Susan, her mother, moved in within a week. She said it was to help with the kids. Her brother Lance followed shortly after, offering to be a male presence in the house. At first, it felt comforting. The noise, the bodies, the movement. It distracted her from the void. Don't be dramatic. You don't even need all of it. What else are you going to do? Sit on it like a dragon. But within a month, she noticed the groceries were disappearing faster. Then the cable bill tripled. Their laughter, their hugs, their questions about their daddy that tore her in two. You didn't earn it, Em. The military handed it to you. Jackson had started carrying David's old dog tags around the house. Taylor asked why Daddy wasn't coming to her school play. Just a little update, Susan said, glass of Merlot in hand. Emily didn't argue. Not at first. Soon, her house didn't feel like her own. And her grief, ever present, was mocked or dismissed when she spoke of it. Work and where for the first time in months, it wasn't forced. Grieving wasn't a luxury Emily could afford. The diner work wasn't glamorous. She didn't mind the grease, the rude customers, or the lingering smell of fryer oil. Emily paused only once to tape a note to the fridge. One night, a veteran came in wearing his Unite hat. She took the kids' clothes, her husband's flag, photo albums, school records, and the only cookware she trusted. She sang to the kids, played audiobooks, stopped at gas stations with sticky floors, and cried silently on long stretches of highway. But the farther she got, the lighter she felt. She even laughed when Jackson spilled juice on his lap. She closed a separate savings account and withdrew what she had left. But the late nights meant missed bedtimes, and the early mornings meant racing the clock. She'd learned the hard way that peace didn't come from numbers on a screen. It came from saying no when others expected yes. Her kids, Taylor, age 6, and Jackson, just 3, were her only joy. Applied for therapy. Carrie helped with job training, and Emily started to see the shape of a future again. You could have told us you were unhappy. She even joined a single parents support group. Taylor made friends at school. They were healing together. Jackson loved helping her unpack boxes. She talked about her mom. Jackson wanted to join the military just like his dad. Emily smiled. Her heart ached, but not from grief. But one day, when they were old enough, she'd explain what real love looks like. That it never takes without giving. That it doesn't wear a mask and call itself family. Emily would lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, guilt burning her chest. Was she enough? Could she be both mother and father? Then came the moment that broke her. Another father brought his daughter every Tuesday and baked banana bread for the group. Emily listened. Then, one day, she spoke. And she cried. And she was hugged. The bank app, she was sitting in her car during lunch break, scarfing down cold fries, when she opened her banking app. Emily's heart raced. She scrolled through the transactions. Restaurant orders. Streaming subscriptions. A $2,000 transfer to Susan labeled for furniture. A $400 payment to Lance's business partner. Groceries, gas, electronics, none of it for her kids. She checked again, thinking it had to be a mistake. Emily called her bank. She hung up and cried in the car until her break was over. Then she wiped her face, went back to work, and poured coffee like nothing was wrong. That night, she confronted them. She framed a new photo of her husband, this time flanked by Taylor and Jackson. It hung on their living room wall. "You're bleeding me dry," she said. Her mother rolled her eyes. Lance chuckled. Emily felt like she'd been slapped. "He died for that money." "You think that was free?" No one answered. That was the last night she slept in her childhood home. The escape plan. Emily called Carrie, a friend she hadn't spoken to in years. Carrie ran a preschool in Texas and had once offered Emily a job managing the admin side. At the time, Emily said no. Now she said yes. They spoke late into the night. Carrie didn't ask for explanations. She just said, "Pack what matters and come home." Emily packed quietly over the next 3 nights. Only what fit in the back of her SUV. Her mother noticed the bags but said nothing. Her brother mocked her with passive-aggressive jokes. "You'll be back," he said. Single mom with no support system. "Good luck," Emily smiled. "I already have all the support I need," she said. They're in car seats. The goodbye that wasn't she left at 4 a.m. On a Thursday. Her mother was still asleep. Her brother snored on the couch. "This was never your money. And I'm not your martyr." She closed the door behind her, tucked her kids into their booster seats, and drove toward a sunrise she didn't yet believe in. It was an 11-hour drive to Dallas, Texas. 2 months later, Emily's new apartment was small but clean. The complex had a pool and a playground. The kids adjusted faster than she expected. She got a new bank account, changed her number. There, she met people like her. Not broken, just healing. One mother shared how she escaped abuse. The money she had left, around $9,000, went into a fund for her children. One afternoon, she received a letter from Susan. Handwritten, pleading. "We didn't mean to hurt you. We were just trying to survive, too." Emily didn't respond. Some things are better left unanswered. Legacy. Emily didn't rebuild overnight. But piece by piece, she grew stronger. She read to them every night. Taught them how to tie shoes. Brought them to church. Laughed with them. 5 years later, Taylor gave a speech at school about bravery. She didn't tell them everything, not yet. And most importantly, that their father died a hero, but their mother lived like one. The end.